So we've determined why AI, and we talked a little bit about the two types of AI that we're going to be interacting with the most, generative and conversational. Now the good question is how do we communicate with our AIs? Really, that's the big point of this course, to determine how to be most effective with our prompt writing. And for context, prompt writing is essentially any sort of request or communication that we make when we're engaging with things like ChatGPT or Copilot. So we've actually developed a formula that we believe is going to help you really get the key components together to make for the most effective prompts. Again, the name of the game isn't to overload your AI with information, but rather provide it with the key pieces of information for it to understand exactly what your desired output is. So let's take a look at the formula. It's all going to start with a goal. And really, goal is supposed to answer the question, what do you want from your AI? We'll talk a little bit about goal more in depth in just a short amount of time, but really just focus on what is it you want? What are you asking your AI to do? The next piece of the formula is context. And really what we're hoping to answer here is, why do you need it? Who is this for? Determining what the purpose is and being able to provide that extra piece of information to your artificial intelligence is going to make it much easier for the system to understand your request and then give you the response that you desire. Now, in general, as long as you have your goal stated and your context, you'll have the framework you need to get the best responses the majority of the time. The next two pieces of the formula are more supplemental. They're not always required, but we want to demonstrate, we want to talk a little bit about them because they're another great way to really enhance your conversation and your engagement with your artificial intelligence. The first of that being tone. With tone, we're establishing how should your AI respond to your request. Now, this is something that not many people know, but you can actually tell your AI how you want it to respond to you. You can say, respond to me with a friendly tone. Write something that is humorous or engaging. Write something as though I were a sixth grader or a fifth grader. And your AI is now going to understand the way that you want it to respond to you, and it's going to try to tailor its response to meet that desired output. And the last piece of information is sourcing, determining what information your AI should use. As we mentioned early on in our videos, AI or artificial intelligence is only as strong as our ability to ask it for what we want. And it is limited in terms of the data pool that it pulls this information from. And one of the ways that you can avoid some of the mistakes or some of the biases that your AI can sometimes encounter is actually by predetermining what information your artificial intelligence can pull from. We'll talk about all of these more in depth in the upcoming videos, but in general, this is the key formula that we've developed in terms of making for more effective prompts. And just as a reminder, most of the time, if you have your goal in your context, that should be good enough to get the response you want. But of course, feel free to include all or different components, and you can mix and match these different components when you're writing your AI prompts.